guys, I saw a cool hobby the other day on eBay. The guy was selling these, well, some of them were briefcases. Another guy was selling these jackets, like bombardier jackets. Remember the old nose art with a beautiful looking girl wearing a bathing suit and stuff like that, the World War II nose art. Well, and then some people would draw like cartoons of like Minnie Mouse or Betty Boop or things like that. And I was really intrigued by that because what they did was really fascinating. And this is a good hobby for a veteran, especially somebody who's good at painting. So what they did was they went around and they seeked out old briefcases. It didn't have to be a military briefcase or anything like that, or an old bag, like an old leather bag, a really old one. And they'd go around seeking these out, I guess, like in antique shops. And I'm sure you could probably find these even in the Philippines if they haven't been thrown out already or what have you, but hopefully you could. I would imagine you could find some good old briefcases or whatever and do something with these. And what they did was they would put like a fake name on their Commander J.F. O'Malley or something like that on there, okay? And they'd find a real military division or whatever and put that on there, like some air wing or whatever. You know, I'm not big into the Air Force or any of the Army or anything. I'm more of a Navy guy. But anyway, what they did was they put art on there. It was military art from World War II, okay? It was really kind of cool. I was fascinated by the prices that they were getting for this stuff because it was really exceptionally high. And what they did was they put the painting was current, but the suitcase itself was old. Or sometimes they put a little brief thing in there. So they kind of like were trying to snag people in a little bit. But, you know, be upfront about that if you're going to sell them too. Just say this is, you know, current day artwork to replicate the old World War II artwork or World War I artwork, whichever you're doing. And a lot of people did trench art too. And you can go on eBay and you can kind of get an idea of what people did for trench art. You know, they did like little things with metal and stuff. It was fascinating what these people did while they were sitting in the trenches. They didn't waste their time, some of these guys. They did this really tremendous artwork, okay? And, you know, we're all retired. And as a lot of us being veterans, some of us have been a wartime veterans. Not myself. I'm not a wartime veteran. I was in the Cold War. You know, that's about it. But I was a submariner. But a lot of us have a lot of artistic abilities out there that we can use, and we can sell stuff like this. And I myself, when I saw this stuff, I was like, you know, I'd almost pay that price for that briefcase because the artwork was so good on it. It would be kind of cool to put a little glass cabinet up on your wall or whatever here in the Philippines, because this is the place, the kind of like the home of World War II. Actually, the whole world was, but I mean, you know, this is where it was taking place, here and over in Europe. So I mean, it'd be kind of cool having something like that up on your wall, you know, or submarine art. And one of the other things that people do is they do the submarine banners, okay? And they sew these banners up from the old submarines, and they put the like how many ships they sank and stuff like that on these flags. And these were made by a lot of World War II sailors, and they would fly this flag, and it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool art. And you can buy those. They're about $200 on eBay. And actually, I'm interested in that. Being a submariner, I was thinking about getting one because it would be a nice centerpiece up on my wall here. Because a lot of those subs, guess where they were? They were over here. A lot of those subs were right here in the Philippines during that time, taking out, you know, Japanese ships and shipping coming into the Philippines and going all throughout, you know, the South Pacific and everything. And it'd be kind of cool having something like that. I think it'd be kind of fascinating, actually. And, you know, a lot of you guys are totally capable of doing a hobby like that where you could make a few bucks off of that. And I think you actually might find it interesting too, because there's so much history in there. And one of the reasons why I used to collect coins, and I used to sell coins too. I used to have an eBay channel, eBay site, okay? And I was on there, and I used to sell a lot of baseball cards, things like that. One of the reasons why I liked it so much was because of the history. The hobby had history, so it was a learning experience while I was doing my hobby. Learning about the coins, learning about the history of the coins, learning about the people on the coins, things like that. I got to learn a lot of history. Well, you know what? With this type of hobby of painting that old art, you get a lot of history and you learn a lot of history. So if you guys are big history buffs, it might be the way to go. And I'm sure you can learn how to do that, and you could probably copy some of the other artwork out there or whatever. I'm sure it's not copyrighted or anything, so you don't have to worry too much about it. Maybe it is. You might want to look into that. I'm not that knowledgeable about that. But I mean, the old nose art, things like that, you can make up your own. It's not that hard. It's actually kind of fascinating coming up with your own nose work, you know, and coming up with your own ideas and stuff and putting it out there. I think a lot of military buffs would jump on that. And you know what? I think it's a great piece of art that's out there. And to think that a veteran did it adds to the value of it. And what you could do is you could always donate a piece of that money, maybe to some veterans organization or whatever, to help out veterans or what have you. And I think that would be a great addition, you know, and you could probably get some, if you painted really, really well, you can get some good prices. Check out some of this artwork that's on eBay or what have you. Let me tell you something. It's fascinating. It's fascinating, and it's beautiful artwork. And you could do submarine artwork, you could do airplane artwork, you could do the submarine flag artwork, you could do briefcase artwork, like I said, you know, where the briefcase belonged to some fake person, or maybe even some real person that's passed away now, and you could do a piece of artwork for the whoever he belonged to, whatever, you know, whatever military organization he belonged to. Or you could even do submarine artwork probably on a briefcase for a captain on a submarine, or a commander or what have you. It'd be kind of interesting to do something like that. I think that would be like a new one that people haven't done really. For a captain on a submarine, do something on the side of an old briefcase or whatever, and do maybe like a one of those where they have like the Scorpion or something like that. You could do the USS Scorpion, or you could do some submarine. I'm trying to think of some names of submarines. I'm drawing a blank right now. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. You could draw their insignia on the side with torpedoes and possibly a couple of Japanese flags on there or something like that, showing that they sank a couple ships or what have you. Or maybe they shot down a couple of airplanes with their topside guns on the old World War II subs or whatever. Things like that you can do. It'd be kind of fun doing that. It'd be actually kind of fascinating. But it's a great hobby, guys. There's all kinds of hobbies out there that we can have here in the Philippines. That'd be a great one. Just think about it for a second, and you'll know that it'd be great. Because I know we have a lot of painters out there, people that can paint. I myself can do a little bit of painting, but my painting is a little bit different. I used to paint duck decoys when I was back home. That's my painting talent. And I can paint a little bit of portraits and things like that, but I'm not really super good at it, as they say. I'm okay at it, but I'm not really great. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care.